Welcome to the e-learning module on telemetry. In this module, we will go through different types of telemetry systems, its functions, advantages, disadvantages, and other things related to National Hydrology Project, NHP. Telemetry is an automated communications process by which measurements and other data are collected at remote or inaccessible points and transmitted to the receiving equipment for monitoring. Communication systems have improved in recent years, and now hydrometric systems have started benefiting from the new technological advances in the communication industry. This word telemetry is derived from the Greek words tele, which means remote, and metron, which means measure. Hence, it is called telemetry. In other words, it is nothing but a wireless data transfer mechanism. Under NHP, 3 types of telemetry systems are proposed as of now, namely the GSM GPRS, INSAT and VSAT communication systems. GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication. It is a digital cellular technology commonly used for transmitting mobile voice, text and data services. GPRS stands for General Packet Radio Service. It is a packet-oriented mobile data standard on the 2G and 3G cellular communication networks, a global system for mobile communications, GSM. GPRS is an upgrade over the basic features of GSM. It allows mobile handsets to obtain much higher data speeds than what standard GSM can offer. GSM generally refers to 2G generation of mobile phone communication technology. GPRS refers to using the internet over this 2G technology. GSM or GPRS systems can work by sending text messages with data or by establishing a network connection, which makes the data logger a device on the internet. It thus becomes addressable like any other device on the internet. This allows two-way communication with the ability to change program settings, download data, or just query for the most recent measurements. SMS text messaging represents a one-way transfer of data, with the field station sending in text messages that contain recent hydrologic measurements. GSM or GPRS technology is gaining wide acceptance for the transport of hydrometric data in India as well as in other countries. With the addition of new mobile towers and increased network density coverage, the GSM signal is available at almost all inhabited places in India now. Real-time hydrologic systems that can afford to miss periods of data collection, such as well monitoring or weather stations which are fairly static over time, are candidates more suitable to utilize GSM or GPRS-based technology. GSM or GPRS modem and its actual installation at site. Here, GSM or GPRS modem is separate module and it is connected after data logger. In certain cases, GPRS modem may be a part of data logger itself. Figure shows GSM or GPRS communication in general. Data from data logger is transmitted through GSM or GPRS modem, which have a SIM card inside of any service provider. This data is then received at desired server through mobile service provider towers. This transmission and reception is exactly as per our mobile phones. So, what are the advantages of GSM and GPRS communication technologies? It is available in most of the places in India, so it can have large coverage. And secondly, it is the quickest technology to implement, as it only requires a mobile network service provider in that area. Most importantly, it is relatively inexpensive. Similarly, the various disadvantages would be: these technologies can be unreliable for public safety requirements like flood warning and any emergency management. Secondly, there is ample possibility of data congestion and connectivity problem in the situations during emergency or natural calamity. And these GSM and GPRS technologies can have high latency. This means it may take more time to transfer your data than recommended. Now we move on the second system, that is INSAT communication. The Indian National Satellite INSAT system is one of the largest domestic communication satellite systems in Asia Pacific region, with operational communication satellites placed in geostationary orbit. INSAT is operated by the Government of India to provide support to real-time environmental monitoring. The INSAT Data Relay Transponder (DRT) is one of the many capabilities provided by INSAT. INSAT is likely more well known for providing satellite pictures depicting the weather. The INSAT system is well suited for remote hydrometric data collection as well as data sharing. The INSAT system requires a Wireless Planning and Coordination (WPC) license from the Department of Telecommunications, Government of India. INSAT communication is a one-way communication. Unlike GSM, there is no way to retrieve the data sitting on the server for missed transmissions. It has fixed time intervals between transmissions. CWC has 3 Earth Receiving Stations (ERS) located at Delhi, Jaipur and Burla in Odisha. The implementing agencies can utilize CWC ERS to receive data and in turn retransmit the data back to state data centers via VSAT or internet on real-time basis. The figure shows Yagi antenna and transmitting. The figure shows INSAT communication in general. Data from the data logger is transmitted through Yagi antenna to the geostationary satellite. This data is then received at Earth Receiving Station (ERS). This raw data is then handled at specific data modules and then transmitted to required server. Let us figure out some advantages and the disadvantages of INSAT communication. The INSAT communication is highly reliable as it is not affected by local weather events and it is highly suited for remote hydrometric data collection as well as data sharing. It covers a wide area of the earth. Hence, the entire country or region can be covered with just one satellite. But it is one-way communication and it has fixed time intervals between transmissions. Also, it requires wireless planning and coordination WPC license. VSAT-based satellite communication. VSAT, that is, Very Small Aperture Terminal, is a satellite communications system. It is a two-way satellite ground station with a small dish antenna. The figure shows VSAT dish mounted on a rooftop of control room at the transmitting site. The size of the antenna is quite small as the frequency of transmission and reception is high. A packet data signal transmitted by a VSAT remote station reaches a hub station via satellite, and the data signal is amplified and passed back to the another VSAT ground station. The data is then sent to the database server. VSAT can communicate from anywhere in India. It is easy to install, has great capacity for network expansion. Many vendors provide equipment, and the system is more reliable during periods of extreme climatic conditions. Let us figure out some advantages and the disadvantages of VSAT communication. It is highly reliable for direct connection and it has bi-directional communication suitable for SCADA and interaction with data station reprogramming. The radio licensing fees is assumed or considered by VSAT provider. It is highly used by banks and other institutions that requires high availability of transmission and reception. At the same time, it has some limitations like its large antenna and dish and higher power usage than the one-way device. It also has high recurring cost, though this can be minimized with proper integration. Installation requirements. Telemetry radios and antennas should be located well above the expected high water mark to ensure that sensitive instruments are not submerged. At stations using satellite communications for data telemetry, the antenna should be installed and oriented towards the appropriate satellite with due considerations to avoid obstructions in the line of sight between the antenna and the satellite. Lightning protection. Each station shall employ a grounding system that will protect the electronic equipment from electrical surges caused by lightning. The system will consist of a single point grounding system which will tie all grounding wires to a copper grounding plate. The plate will then be connected with the copper grounding strap to a grounding rod. Antenna cables and radios will utilize polyphasers to protect from lightning damage.